This is Everjane. It's a free-to-play game on Steam, and it's like a Pride and Prejudice kind of thing going on here. So you can see I'm trying to woo the ladies with my very impressive bowing. So this is on Steam. It's free to play. It's kind of like it's that 18th century. Is it 18th century? Yeah, I'd say 18th century is about accurate. And it's trying to do... So basically this game is not complete, right? It's in beta. They have the framework down. The foundation is sound. It's just, other than that, there are quite a few problems. And that's beyond just that it doesn't look the best. This UI is a problem. It's all over the place. It's cluttering the screen. And I'm curious as to where the actual MMO aspect comes in. Like, I didn't see another person in here while I was playing. I mean, granted, it's not a great game as it stands. But I'd love to see, like, are there other people walking around also trying to do stuff? Are you interacting with the other players as if they were like an NPC kind of? Because like you see, you have this nod, bow, and deep bow, right? So could you do that to other players? Because right now, that lady that's sitting over there, she's just an NPC, and there's one more in the house behind me. But none of it doesn't seem like any of the interactions actually do anything. I know her name, Martha Greaves. Try to jump into this horse-drawn carriage. The general architecture and the playability of this game are probably the only positives I can say about this game. It does work fairly well. Well, I mean, it's as I walk through a door. I mean, it's a Unity game, so it's not too hard to get a game up and running. And that's where the positives end. And I mean, and they got the texturing down, so that's something. But there's a lot of issues like walking through doors, walking through fences, and stuff like that. So a lot of the what's it called? There's a specific term for making an object not bump into or not go through other objects. If I had to guess, it seems kind of like maybe they're taking inspiration for this world a little bit. I mean, of course they are, but I mean specifically the way that this town is mapped out kind of seems realistic, somewhat. Like you have the big old church in the center, and you have some nice trees all over the place. Although it does kind of seem a little bit mirrored, but whatever. So at the beginning, you make a character, and he's all posh looking. You can choose a woman, of course. And you have all these different UI elements over there on the down right side, but most of them don't really do anything. Let's see. I can't even tell what those are saying anymore. From like I know I clicked each of them at least once. I think the only ones that worked were the question mark, and that brought up like basically what you're supposed to do next, which was like one task. It just says one task, like to the effect of I completely forget it, but it was something that didn't really matter, and it does not move anything along. And then the music stops abruptly, like after it plays once, and then there's no sound effects. But oh, there it is. Yeah, okay. So you can basically chat, which is, I mean, that's a basic necessity in an MMO. And I smiled to myself, and I called myself Total Biscuit because that seemed appropriate. Because the guy that I'm playing has a really big top hat. And it looks like at the bottom there, the little stat thing, so you can put 1 plus next to 1 and 1 minus next to 1. And I chose to put it next to, what was it, kindness? Because I want to get my kindness up. Except, like, what does it matter? Is any of this going to matter at all? And I guess I can kind of see like the player list, but those 2 players are NPCs, or they're 2 players that have stood really, really still. Wait, maybe they're not NPCs. Now that I think about it, the second quote unquote NPC that I see in this game a little bit later was standing in a really strange position in the house. I don't know, but it didn't seem like even if they weren't NPCs, I wasn't able to interact interact with them at all. So it's like they weren't even there. They might as well not have been there. This game is an interesting one, despite its numerous shortcomings. And, yes, I know it's a beta. I know it's going to be kind of crappy, but the foundation's sound, like I said. I think it's interesting. I don't even care for the Pride and Prejudice kind of. I'm saying Pride and Prejudice, but I know there's a specific term for this like, and I just teleported to home for this this theme. Oh, there's the other person, quote unquote. They're so lifeless. Dorothy Hatch. And I actually didn't think anything of it at the time that she was standing, on top of this couch. But maybe that is a real person. And before I started recording, I kind of walked around the game world for about 30 minutes or so, just kind of looking around. Okay, if you're pointing at them, it'll actually say smiles at that person. And again, like none of those UI elements even work. And I feel like this bottom UI element should, the status, kindness, duty, happiness thing, that should like collapse down. And then if you want to see it again, you press like a little, dash mark and it comes back up. There's just like, there's a whole bunch of that stuff kind of scattered all over the game. Well, I mean, you know what there is anyway. And then there's one locked door. What's behind the door? And look at this lovely bedroom. It's like the most decorated place in the entire game world. You have a young chap there on the wall. Probably in the military. Fought against America, all that. I can't even see what's past the door. Oh, you know what it is? It's probably just the door graphic on a regular just wall. So there's nothing to see past it. That's disappointing. Yeah. Well, like I was saying before, it'd be interesting to see this in its final product. And by the way, the game doesn't actually skip like frames all the time. That's just my recording that kind of got messed up a little bit. Lost a couple frames every now and then. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see where they're able to take this game. Oh, and check this out. We're about to get fast and we're about to get furious. Oh boy. The animation on that is totally awful. No, it plays really strangely. Like you are, instead of like a turn and then go forward, an actual horse that would be operated, I guess. I'm a madman. It just turns everything at once. The entire 4 horses plus your basket all turn at once. And also, what is the end game? Like, at least a lot of crappy MMOs out there have the see, get to the end dungeon or get to the max level or a cure gold. But in this, it doesn't seem like there's anything to be gained except maybe to, I guess, max out those stats. But what does maxing out a stat do? It doesn't seem like it does much. Maybe we got to this game a little bit too early, but it's interesting to see a game in its early stages like this and to alert people who want to follow along with it, be able to follow along with it. It's not terrible. I mean, there are definitely worse browser-based MMORPGs out there that claim they're a full title. I'd say that this is better than those, but it's still pretty bad. But good luck to them.